Behind every place that inspires us, there is a vision of someone who have got passion for an idea and sufficient persistence to bring it to life. This is what I was thinking about when visited the Tibet Museum of Gruyères for the first time, and I was happy to speak with the founder of the Tibet Museum, Mr. Alain Bordier, about the main passions of his life, art and spirituality. Mr. Bordier, thank you so much for having us here, for finding the time. So I am here as a fellow practitioner, as a yogi. I want to ask you some questions which interest me as a practitioner, as somebody who loves Tibet. I hope that some of your answers might help other people who are interested in art, in Tibet, in spirituality. So if we may start from the very beginning, how did this journey start for you? How did you get to India in the first place, and why?
Oh, thank you for coming. And first time I go end of 70 in India. So I spent maybe 7 years in India. I made many trips to all India, from Tamil Nadu, Kerala to North India.
Why? What drew you there?
Because I have a man, a friend, very good friend of mine, who was importer of textile, Indian textile. So this textile come from many, many places, even Benares, they have carpet.
But you didn't practice anything back then, or were you already?
No, it doesn't practice nothing. Yeah. But I take time, because I was in the beginning 80, I was at the opening of Tibet.
Yes.
Chinese opened the border and leave foreigner to go inside Tibet. So all the temple was destroyed in 1966 by small red books of Mao. And they destroyed almost all temple. Maybe they left 15, 20 temple.
In Lhasa.
They destroy all temple. And the Tibetan want to make the temple again, and they need money, so they sell quite a lot of item from Tibet, mainly from Kathmandu and Hong Kong. So I have some people in Hong Kong who can buy. The people come, they show the tattoo, and I buy some at the time.
Is it true that the first statue you bought was a Yamantaka statue?
Yes,
Do you still have it?
You read the book then.
Why Yamantaka? Was it something just that you liked, or you knew what the meaning was?
I had a restaurant in Geneva who called Universal. It was you can have many meaning of universal, And I meet him there, and he bring on the table of the restaurant this Yamantaka. And the first time I meet him, I buy this Yamantaka. And after, he make my collection, partly,
Interesting.
And so I work with him a lot. He was in Hong Kong, and he was on the right place to find. But so I've not so much provenance of this statue. Well, I never buy when I was in Tibet. I never buy nothing there.
Because you want to keep your collection pure, in a sense that it was not looted from Tibet?
Yeah, I never take from the country pieces. Even Indian pieces I buy not in India. I buy in Switzerland. The two pieces. One piece was in Zurich, and the other pieces was the lingam is downstairs. I buy in Brussels.
And then you write in many of your books and in your articles, you say that there was a turning point for you in 1985, if I'm right, when you got first time to Ladakh.
To Ladakh, yeah.
In Leh.
Yeah. It's especially Alchi, Zumstek in Alchi, and after Lamayuru, we go down in the Indus Valley, And Alchi is outside the main road, So you must cross the river and come to Alchi, Alchi is a part of the Ladakh Valley, So it's a very interesting place. When I go to Tibet to see the monastery, to take the picture of old statue, you know, the two books of Ulrich von Schröder, it was a big work. It was it was not easy to take this picture. Nobody, since we finished the work, can go to make the same work as we have done. You know, it's finished.
How did you get in? Was it
with
legal?
With the monk, illegal. Everything illegal. Yeah, of course.
Well, was it?
At night we close in the monastery. You know, we make picture. You know, it was special, and some people help us there. Some old people who think we can bring something for the future of Tibet. You know, we must convince these people. It was not easy sometimes, very, very difficult some other time. But we succeed and we make the first. I was collector all the time, so my father was collector, and my family also. My grandfather doesn't work, he collects, you know, only, and he sells. But I never sell, you know. I only buy. You know. I don't know how to sell, and I don't like to sell these religious items, you know. And this item is only love, you know. It's made for love, and the people who makes loves also, you know. So you have a special feeling.
Yes.
With this object, it was painting or sculpture or ritual object. For me, in the museum you have all kind. You have a panel of objects they make in Tibet.
But there are many of them which are ritual. Maybe most.
Yeah, no, I have some ritual. Yeah. They're all ritual, you know. They're all comment dire, symbol. You know. It's only symbolic, you know.
And does it affect your decision to buy or not to buy, the fact that it was used in the ritual or not?
No, I try to buy all kind of object, but the central meaning was the beauty, you know. So I buy only the best, or the beautiful one, and who touch my heart. You know. So that was very important for me.
After 40 years, probably of this journey or more, that you started collecting and looking for beauty, now having so much experience and seen so many things, how can you define beauty? What is beauty for you?
Beauty can be different by each one, you know.
And for you, what is beauty?
For me, it's the equilibrium. I don't know in English.
Balance?
Yeah, the balance of the body, of the face. The face is very important. It must be nice. It must be special also, you know, because you never find perfect. Perfection doesn't exist, you know. And when it's not perfect, it's interesting, you know, because it makes you interrogation, you know. You don't know what it is, what the meaning of this Buddha, of this piece, what is the real meaning, you know, so you don't know. So you can have object long time, and you didn't know what it is, what it means, you know. That's it's always something new for you, you know. So you always discover something, and this kind of beauty, you know.
And so your museum that you've created with so much love and care, it has a lot of beauty.
Yeah. And for me, yes.
In a way, it is a temple.
It is a temple. You know, this is a church. This church was desacralized in 1921, so quite a long time ago, almost 100 years ago. But I think it's still religious, you know. The church, nobody want to buy here because it was a church, you know. What to do with a church? It was in very bad condition, you know. And so I take the decision. I was 60 years old, you know. So I was crazy, you know, to buy a church here in Gruyères, you know, something.
So why Gruyères?
Because it's a church. Because it's a good place, it's a good village, and everything is perfect here.
Does it remind you a bit of Himalayas and the Tibetan
I want
feeling?
not to make this museum in the city. You know?
Why not?
Because the city is too much thing, you know. It's we are not quiet in the city, you know. The people fight each other, you know. The bicycle and the motor, everything is no good for the mind or something. So I think here it's a better place for in the mountain. So we can make a relation with Himalaya a little bit.
Right.
And all objects here are also in relation with Himalaya, you know.
So it seems that for you this dialogue of civilizations, East and West, European and Tibetan, is important.
I think the people of the mountain are all the same in all the world, you know. They have the same symbol, you know. You have here symbol of the knot upstairs, you know. You have the same symbol here. That's come from here, you know. But it's the Tibetan one also, you know. So you have many things who fits together. You know.
And do you think that leads us to the conclusion that spirituality in its roots, it's something which is similar for all of us? Because
yes, something. I think it's similar in the Himalaya and here also. And the people here, you know, some place in the mountain was closed 3 months, you know. So the people what to do, you know. So they cut paper, they make carving and all those things, you know. So the people here.
And do you think there is something that a Swiss culture can learn from a Tibetan culture, because they are so interlinked? And what do you think that could be?
We always can learn from other culture, you know. And Swiss people are very well, they're traveler. They go in all over the world. You see Swiss everywhere. And that makes Swiss better, I think. Yeah. So you must have a relation with the other culture. You must. And for me, India was the best relation. India, for me, it's one of the greatest country in the world. Really.
Was it so special because it was so different from what you knew before?
Yeah, the people there are very sont nombreux, quoi. There are so many, you know. So. But they are happy, you know. Some people here are not so happy, you know. You can see the face of the people, you know. When you know many people, you can see the face, and you can understand the people a little bit, you know.
How this journey, and probably most of all your practice since you became a Buddhist, how do you think it transformed you personally? How did it change?
It transformed me completely, you know, really. You know, I understand things, you know. I understand mostly things. You know, it's a long time.
In what way?
More 40 years. So I live with, you know, all this object makes me change also, you know. I think about and I have a relation with all these objects, you know. I see the detail, you know. The detail is more important, you know. When you make a visualization in Buddhist, you must come from the feet, go up, and you must see all the statues slowly, you know, and you must have a lot of attention of what you see in your mind, you know.
How did your environment, which knew you as a successful businessman, maybe Protestant, how did your family, friends, colleagues react to this transformation in you?
My father never see my collection, in fact. He died in 1978. My mother was not so much interesting. She lived 30 years more. You know, she died in 2006. And the other member of my family was not so interesting. And in Geneva, I have nobody who was interested. I was the alone. I was alone in my. So.
It didn't stop you.
What?
It didn't stop me.
It didn't stop me. And I have friends in Zurich. I have friends in Basel. I have some friend in Switzerland, and after I go in London. I go for sale. You know, I go to buy things in the by Spink in London, by Christie's and all. So I met there some other people who are also interested. You know.
So we touched upon this shortly. You come from a business background, right? From
yeah.
Yes, and then you.
I take over the family business, you know.
Yeah.
So I was very respect my father, you know, and my father was sick. I came 66 in the business, and my father was already a little bit sick, you know. So I came quite young to the work. You know. 1 year in England after I go to the business. So I have some ambition, you know. I want to make better than my father, you know. So I do something. I build building, you know. I sell some building. I keep mostly, you know. I like to keep the thing. You know. when you sell, you lose, you know. I think so, because money makes not everything, you know.
No, but being so already busy and, you know, responsible for your colleagues, for your team, for your people, you found the time, the energy, the passion to build this museum.
Yeah.
To spend so much time traveling all over the world, picking up the most beautiful objects. How did you combine these two paths? How did you make it work for you?
You know, it was good to me to have something else than business, working for customer who was sometimes very rich, you know. They are never happy, you know, with the money. They want to always more, you know. So I was happy to go outside, to go to Asia. In fact, more Asia. It was my main. I go to America to see the museum before, and I go to some island because I love diving, you know. So I dive. Also, I make maybe 1,000 dive, you know. So it makes the balance between business and collection, you know. To go outside.
Yeah.
You know, business, one thing, and the other thing is the family. In fact, also, you know, I have quite a family, big family. I have 6 small children, and my wife died last year, but she helped me a lot. Yeah.
And there are many people who believe, or there is a widespread myth that if you live in the modern world and to be successful in it, you have to dedicate your path to, you know, I don't know, being a great businessman or earn a lot of money. But if you want to practice something and be spiritual, you have to leave the material world. There are different traditions, sects, which either go one way or another. But
I understand now.
What would you say to those people who are convinced that you have to choose one?
You know, you practice to be a Buddha, you know. But I understand I have another destiny in my life. So I know I will never be a Buddha, you know. So I practice, but a little bit. And I think I must be happy all the time to be here still, you know.
If museum is your legacy, what is the message you want to leave with the people who visited?
The message is to be open, you know. It's a Catholic church with Buddhist statue. I respect Catholic church, you know. We must be open to everything, you know.
Thank you for this message, and thank you for what you've created, and even more so, you so generously shared with the others.
Yeah, that's the main thing, in fact, to share. Because, you know, when I had all this thing in my room until 2009, you know, the power of all these pieces was
Overwhelming.
incredible, you know. And when I make bring some friend to visit my room where I live, when I sleep. They can stay 5 minutes, after they leave, They cannot, that's too much. So I make some photo in my book. The book is about Tibet treasure, but also the step of Milarepa, because Milarepa, it's a man who makes big worst thing what you can imagine, and he become a Buddha in one life, And, so that was, and I have a book there down about Milarepa, before the 10,000 song of Milarepa, who was written by Sangnyong Heruka. So my book is very important.
Milarepa once asked if one can live an active life to benefit others. And so he replied, if there is no attachment to selfish goals, you can, but that is difficult. Do you feel you have attachment to all those beautiful pieces?
Yes. I'm not Milarepa. But I give also, so the attachment I have less, I think, much more less now, since some years, not so long. And so I work with very nice people here. So the museum, going slowly up a little bit, is a confidential museum,
It is.
So it's difficult to have a lot of people coming, It's a small museum also, but I think there are good piece, so it's a very interesting museum. And the people stay not just to see like that, They have no idea, but when they look properly on each piece, but it takes a long time. They will get something. They will get something.
I fully agree. I think this is a meditation place for
Yeah,
first
it's a
of all.
meditation place. Yeah.
And
Inspiration with everything, We have music many times. It's very good to have music in the church, Maybe 80 people can come to listen. Acoustic music, no need loudspeaker, nothing. And some dance also. I have Indian dance. I have Mongol dance. So we bring something, and we make a party here. I make disc jockey, and everything goes.
Because as you started, passion is very important.
Yeah, passion is the most important.
Yes, passion is life.
So as I say, Amitabha, it's control of inside, but no attachment, no desire, but to have a passion. That's very important. And Big Lama said that to me, So I kept this because I'm passionate. That's all.
Thank you so much for your passion and for sharing with others.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.